There's really only one item left that's not already being exported to the cluster at large that Gacrux 1 is going to need to produce rockets. And I think I know how I'm going to get it. Hello Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So, one thing that I want to make sure I'm good on before I leave here is the production of frame materials. Now, I think I'm probably doing all I can with the existing production apparatus here, but I want to make sure that I'm ready to potentially expand that on Gacrux 1, as I hiccup while talking, on Gacrux 1. So, what I'm going to do here, I've got a lot of what I need in order to make some quantum chemical plants. I actually also have a number of chemical plants in my inventory, which will make this process even simpler. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is grab some of this titanium glass from here. And then it looks like I will need some of these, which thankfully there's plenty. Just going to take this until the line starts to empty out. There we go. And now I can build 8. And now it seems like I might need a few quantum processors. Thankfully, that's easy too. Now we can make 30. Now that's more than enough. So I'm going to stop there. Going to put those back in there. Looks like there's some that actually won't get transported. That's fine. And what I'm now going to do... Let me also take a look at this really quick, because we have... Alright, this is full. Completely. I'll be curious how the hydrogen situation starts to look here after a while. If you happen to miss the last episode, I made a rather large change. For a long time, I've had hydrogen importing back here. And God, that was a great sunrise. And I finally just said, you know what? No, that doesn't make any sense. And so now what's happened is it's completely empty. And as a consequence of that... Hang on, let's see. This was the line that was feeding additional hydrogen into things, and now there's a lot less hydrogen in these storage towers. Now, interestingly enough, you see it's still... These are both still completely full, despite the fact that they're pouring so rapidly. So it just goes to show you that the extra hydrogen was not necessary. Like, I'm producing enough from the existing refinery platforms that are all running right now. But now that I am not clogging up these lines as much, these buildings are able to produce more hydrogen and their entire production apparatus can continue flowing, which is nice. So that's something I'll keep a close eye on. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I think I have an idea about how we're going to work the import of this very important good. Let's visit Alrami. Alrami is due for a quick checkup anyway. After the previous couple of episodes, I set up some new ray receivers, and one of the things that I would like to do here is just take a look at how the math on those interface elements checks out. It's something that I'm still learning, but my original interpretation ended up being correct based on what I read and based on what everyone commented. So the idea is that the Dyson swarm can output a certain amount of energy, and while at much smaller numbers, if you have like 1 or 2 ray receivers, it's possible that 1 ray receiver or 2 ray receivers, of course, might not handle all of the possible energy that you could request. So you need to build more than 1. But there's a point at which having too many ray receivers, there's a point at which essentially you are no longer able to expand how much energy you're getting from the Dyson Sphere by building more ray receivers, because the ray receivers that you have are collecting everything they can, and building additional ray receivers, all that accomplishes is it makes things all that accomplishes is it makes the Dyson Sphere's energy get divided between more. It's the same amount of energy, it just gets divided between more ray receivers. So essentially what's happened now that all of these are approaching, see that they're still not even at 100% continuous receiving. Notice how the requested power here for all of these has dropped. Now, granted, if I go back to one of the ones that is at 100% continuous receiving, the requested power here is 12.6, but it was at 15 something. Its request has dropped. Why? Because it now has a smaller share of what is available to all of the ray receivers. So what I really need to do is increase the output here. And I will do that eventually. But for now, there's something else that I want to do first. And it's going to involve... Hang on. How far back do I want to do this? That's the question. Also, let me take a quick look at these and see how quickly they're producing. You can probably afford to build one more of these, it looks like. Although... maybe, just maybe. Yeah, what are we short on here? Uh-oh. Why are we short on that? That's not something I want to be short on. Or maybe a shipment just arrived. Let's take a quick look. It's possible that... yeah, I think a shipment just arrived. Yeah. Alright, never mind. We're fine. So I guess sometimes there's a delay in that shipment and it causes a brief stoppage here. But now those should start coming back down the line. That's kind of annoying, honestly. But I can live with it. So let's take these back into my inventory for a moment. I think I can afford to build one more of these. Just one. Oh. Need to also get these in inventory, that's fine. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, it's going to take a while for this to really work fully and effectively, because what I want to do is use what I've set up on Alrami with the production of these Graviton lenses to also have an export apparatus set up for those lenses. So let me first look here and see if there's a slot. There isn't. I don't think there is on either pole. I'll probably need to build an additional interplanetary logistics station, and if so, that's what I'll do. Everything here is working okay. Yeah, I will. We need to build an additional import station. Got one ready. Power-wise, we are completely fine, so we can afford it. But the way that this is going to be set up, it's going to be a moment before they can really be exported en masse. And I might still have to subsidize the production of these somewhat. But I'm going to start by just trying to offload my excess here. And I might also set up the excess to be exported from Alpha Andromeda 2, so they're coming from more than one location. Because they only would need to be imported to one location, which is Gacrix 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this point here, where they curve down toward all of those ray receivers. I'm going to put a splitter down, and I'm going to tell this splitter that I want you to prioritize that output. But we're going to build another output, and it's going to go towards my new interplanetary logistics station. Let me make sure that that got preserved. It did. So what's going to happen here is that it's going to continuously send all of the lenses down that way until it backs up again. And when it starts to back up again, all of the lenses being produced here will start to go in the opposite direction. And especially if I go back to... yeah, I've actually talked myself into this now. I think it's a good idea. If I go back to Alpha Andromeda, because I already saw a surplus there, and if I set up the same thing there, because I have an extra import slot or export slot there already, all I have to do is set up the same thing there. I'll be in good shape. And it's a line that could potentially be expanded later on, too. Okay, so a couple of things here. Let's make sure that I've got... I'm being so careful now every single time I select anything on those automatic wheels. On those automatic kind of selection interfaces because of how finicky that interface has been with me. Alright, so now we have those plugged in. Let's go ahead and say that we want logistics vessels, which we absolutely do. And we can put the rest of these back. And then we'll just pop this straight into that logistics tower. And again, it'll be a while before there are any to export here, but especially if we start splitting the work between this and Alpha Andromeda, I think it's going to be fine. So right now this is set as remote supply. Let's head back. And remember that once the current research completes, we will have even more photons being produced on this planet without having to increase the amount of energy being produced by the Dyson swarm. The most obvious way to increase the production of this Dyson swarm is to actually start building a sphere. But we're going to build a sphere in Gakrux. And just enjoy this view for a moment, because we don't enjoy the view enough in this series. It's very easy in Dyson Sphere Program, especially when creating content, to get fixated on the story, get fixated on the problem you're trying to solve, get fixated on just the narrative of what's happening. And the fact is, this is a beautiful game. And it's only going to get prettier. They've made it prettier since I got it. It's only going to get better. So let's head to Alpha Andromeda. Not even that far away. Oh, just past the logistics vessel. Nice. Not even that far away. And once we arrive, we'll set up the same basic thing. Again, I should already have a slot, so it shouldn't even take that long to do. I just need to find a slot where it's going to go. And then I think that it looked like that factory was already pretty well backed up right before I left at the beginning of the episode, so chances seem pretty good that we will be able to set this up and head right back to Gakrux. Might take a while for some of the basic resources to arrive, but I'm okay with that. Alright, let's stop here, and now let's go back. Alright, here's where they're being produced. And we could always expand this, too. Like, we could absolutely expand it. Okay, so here we have this platform. And it looks like they're coming this way. Oh, this is perfect. Because I think you have a slot right here, right? Oh my god, this could not be more perfect. Holy crap. Couldn't get better than this. Alright, so here's what I'll do. Actually, wait. I just realized a slightly better way to do it. Alright, so it's already automatically hopping over every line that I need it to. And now all I want this to do is prioritize that output. So I want it primarily to send them towards, you know, this production. But I don't want them to continue doing so. Just indefinitely. Once it fills up, I want them to send the excess in this direction. as it is now doing. That's actually a pretty good backup of them right there. But if I continue... Hang on, let's take a look. Yeah, because we had such a thoroughly backed up line that now it's putting all of them in storage. So now if I... Let me take a look here. I might have to do some math, which is completely fine, but I want to see what my capacity for these is. Because look how many... God, I've got so many extra. Right now, it's producing 8.4 of these per minute, and this looks like the resource that would be most important. All right, so right now we have 6 of these machines, assemblers, producing 18.8 of the lenses per minute. And it's taking 1 strange matter for each of those. So it's using up 18.8 per minute. And we have 6 of them altogether. So 60 plus 6 times 8. So that's 108, roughly. 108 to 110 right now is how many are consumed per minute. So we have 8.4. So we basically need probably about 12 of these, 12 or 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we're right about at the limit. We might be slightly underproducing them if we want to continue to have a surplus. So the question is, with what we have here, especially given these consume deuterium, right? Yeah, I think it probably makes a lot of sense to expand the production of these, because I have room for a little bit of additional... I've got room in the power grid, basically. I could totally swing this. So this is taking deuterium. The only thing is that I want to make sure I still have everything proliferated. I was very careful about that when I set this up. Okay, I have an idea. I just realized there's a very straightforward way to do this. Like, it's almost obscene how straightforward this is. It's a little bit gross. I take it back. This is a lot bit gross. Oh my god. This is going to work too well. I'm going to put a splitter down there. Alright, so now... What if I, like, doubled it up exactly? How much power is this pulling? 15.6 megawatts? So 10 of them would be 150 more megawatts? I've got room for that, and I could build another artificial sun if I didn't. So why not just go for it, you know? How many more of these do I have in my inventory? I have plenty. Oh my god. Okay. I have 94. I think I have enough. Alright, so... a couple of things here. First of all, I need to delete you. Sorry. We're going to slightly replace things here. I think if I do this instead, and then place you here, I should still be able to power everything in the area. I can. And I will more easily be able to create a line of these here. So, oh, whoa, 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 what's this? What's this? What's this? I didn't realize those had extra deuterium coming down both sides. That might occasionally result in some of these not being boosted properly. Yeah, you can see the line stopping and starting. Oh, that's weird. Why is it that way? Why did I do this? Was it just to bring in additional deuterium? All right, well, hang on. I think I might still be able to work with this. I'm just annoyed. Oh, hello. Hang on, I can probably find somewhere to put some of this stuff. Hang on, I've got a lot of water. I have a lot of water. It's probably not necessary. Okay, there's that. And then don't I have a bunch more of those producing somewhere over... Where are you? Here? Yep. Okay, that's better. Now we have room in our inventory. And let's see. Got it. All right, I was about to say, crap, where'd it go? All right, so I just need to finish deleting all of these because I don't want this line pulling from here. What I want... Oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. Yeah. This will work fine. Just have this line pouring into the storage here. Because I have two lines going this way, handling everything. I guess the only other thing that I need to do... These are just outputting deuterium here. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I feel better about everything. Let's... First of all, I need to change the way these are oriented relative to each other. Strange matter is what I want being produced. And then we're just going to have all three of those resources like so. And then one output. Oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be entirely too great. Oh, you can just hear the sound skipping because of just the sheer quantity. It's not actually skipping on my machine, it's just the way that the sound files overlap with each other. Like when the construction bots are going ham, you can literally just hear it. Just start stuttering. That's so satisfying. Alright. It looks like we may be short on that resource here as well, for the same reason we were short on it on Alrami. That's interesting. Alright, I think I'll leave that as it is. Alright, that says it needs foundation support. I can arrange that. There you go. Got your foundation support right here. So now let's delete very carefully. Delete the right line, for God's sake. Okay, it's not quite letting me highlight the exact one I want, but that'll do. Okay, that's what I thought. Good enough. Alright, so now we're creating a bunch more of those. They're still being proliferated. And as a consequence of creating a bunch more that way, one of the things I should be able to do before I go back to Gakrux is I should be able to do this. I'm going to do an old-fashioned... Yep, still works. That's the way you used to have to build those arches before they started automatically being built. And it's not quite as perfect as the ones the game builds for you, but it's close. All right, so you're no longer powered. Just kidding, now you are. Oh yeah, we have plenty of these resources. So let's pull these into inventory for just a moment. Okay, pull them back out. And now expand. Oh, hello, hold on. Oh, hold on a minute. I see what's happening here. Okay, that's fine, actually. I didn't realize the line to export them was there, but that makes perfect sense. So it needs to be like that. Which is kind of perfect because I need to put one Tesla tower in the middle of all of that. Okay. Now, I could probably build one more of those, to be honest. But I think I'm okay with what we've got. So now what I'm going to do... Let's go ahead and put a few things back. And let me quickly take a look at my power situation here. It's completely fine. Looks like we've gotten a new shipment of that metal in. So let's head to Gakrux and see if we can get lucky importing some of those lenses. Because if so, granted, I've had a few things to set up over the past couple of episodes. I even had a running joke with one of my community members about the name of 3 of the last episodes. But, one of the things I've been saying is that once we have a lot of these key components in place, we're going to be able to just bring stuff to Gakrux, and you're going to see a lot of the mechanisms we've built on other planets just sort of very quickly provide everything that we need. And that's about to happen to a large degree. I had to do a little bit of tweaking there just to make sure that those lenses were ready. But now they're ready. And we're almost done with the next research on ray transmission efficiency too, which I've been raving about for 2 episodes straight now. So that's going to be a big positive. But when we get to Gakrux, we will definitely have everything we need in place to start building vertical launching sites. I might start producing some frame materials on Gakrux 1 myself, but I don't have to go anywhere for that, you know? Now, speaking of Gakrux 1, let's turn, and oh, this is going to be fast. Hi. Come back. Come back. Don't leave me. 7.13 gigawatts. Oh my god. Hang on. 7.13. One swarm. One swarm. Just let that sink in. It's absurd. Oh crap, I didn't... Oh, that's right. I didn't have the... Forgotten about this. Okay. So now we have all of the goods that we need in order to actually produce these. And they've started being produced, just like that. So that I'm going to start sending those goods down that way, which will start producing plane filters. And then the plane filters will start popping out. And we'll start producing... just like that. That's amazing. All right, so while that is kind of getting going... Yeah, we might... we need to give it a second to start humming to really see where the shortages are. I could do the math, but it can also, as you've seen many times in the series, just kind of be visualized. So... here... we're going to import... I'm so curious to see how many show up immediately. Remote demand. None. 0 show up immediately. So that's interesting. It might either be... I'm honestly a little surprised. I would have expected at least some of them to show up immediately. So there might not be a full shipment yet, but at the same time, that's what I was saying. Alrami is not going to have a surplus of those right away. So what I need to do, I mean, I have some on me. I'm not completely out of luck. So I can do this, for example, and I can have 4 rocket launchers queued up, but now I don't have any Graviton lenses and I need to wait for them to ship. So in the meantime, what else can I do? I can start making small carrier rockets. So recall that one of the reasons I have everything... Okay, good. This is starting to back up there. But it looks like, yeah, same problem as before. How fast is this recipe? It takes 6 seconds. And this takes 12. Yeah. So we're going to need a lot more working here. And we can partially support it right now just by expanding in this direction, because we don't have to have the entire line of them sitting before this line starts. That's not necessary. They just need to have some support. So let's definitely increase this, because it's clearly necessary. Alright, so we have some collision happening, and that's fine. It's to be expected. Matter of fact, tell you what, let's just place one of these down. Wait a minute. Oh, there you go. There you go. Glorious. Alright, we can even do a little bit better than that. Alright, and I'm just gonna... It's a little messy, but we'll put a Tesla tower at the very end just to make sure that's completely clean. Alright, so now there's a lot more of those being produced. Currently 110 sitting right here. I can add 70 more from my own inventory. And I actually have a number of other resources just sort of on hand at the moment. Well, I didn't need to get rid of those necessarily, but let's see what else. So it looks like, let's make sure sales are looking good here. Oh, that's interesting. We still don't have enough sail production. Why is that? What are we short on? Graphene? How are we short on graphene? How is that even possible? Okay, well, you know what? You know what? I might need to head over to the 4th planet in this system. I take back everything I said. We don't have everything perfectly set up. I thought we did, but apparently graphene is under a fair amount of stress. Let's see if we can just look at the... I would not have expected that at this point in the series, obviously. Graphene. Entire star cluster. We're producing 500 more, close to 500 more every minute over the past 10 minutes than we are consuming it. Although, okay, over the last hour, the numbers are not the same. Graphene consumption was really absurd for a while there. I see what's happened. I think graphene production had slowed down on account of the hydrogen problem that I just fixed. So more graphene is probably on the way, would be my guess. And then we should have more solar sails ready. But as long as we don't have graphene and solar sails, then we have a bit of a problem. So I could mitigate this. Yeah, I could mitigate this by going to Gacrux 4. Hang on, how am I doing on solar panels? I've got 500, perfect. Let's go to Gacrux 4. Because this system's 3rd or 4th planet has a ton of fire ice. Oh, that's amazing. Build and maintain 100 ray receivers with a receiving efficiency of over 85%. So that's fantastic. We're now going to start producing more photons. All right, Gakrooks. Is it 4? I think it's 4. There's fractal silicon here. No, it's not 4. It's 5. But there's a ton of fire ice out there. That's 12 AU away. So it's a good bit farther away. Let's hop over that direction, shall we? Oh, hello. Nice to meet you, Gakrooks 5. Oh, look at that. Frickin' look. Hang on. We gotta change our perspective a little. Is it right overhead? Where'd it go? There it is. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. There we go. And we land right next to a fire ice patch. Nice. God, that's freaking gorgeous. I love this game so much. All right, we're 36 minutes in. I'm going to stop this episode here. And in the next one, what I'm going to do is very quickly set up... What are we looking at here? This is a wind planet, actually. And you can hear it in the atmosphere. So we're going to set up some wind farms here. And then very quickly set up an export apparatus for this fire ice so that we can get it. So we want to start producing, using chemical plants, additional graphene, and it will produce hydrogen as well, which is good and bad. But we're going to start exporting that so that we can have some more readily accessible for Gakrooks 1, because clearly we need it in order for that planet to continue functioning normally. It's actually, yeah, we're already seeing a huge fall off here in the level of solar sails in orbit, and we've already seen the deterioration in the generation capacity of the Dyson swarm on account of that shortage. Again, we've attenuated it somewhat by unclogging the hydrogen system on Alpha Andromeda by no longer importing hydrogen. So a lot of the buildings that are producing hydrogen can export it again, can move hydrogen again. But I think one of the ways that we really need to get around it is just to have this planet here taking some straight to Gakrooks 1. That's what we're going to do. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button. God, that is so pretty. Look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and additional perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon, U.S. Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.